Recently, I was down something like $15,000 on one trade, and across all my different accounts and portfolios, at one point the drawdown hit somewhere around the neighborhood of $30,000 to $35,000. Personally, last week, I was down upwards of $35,000. Which to me, as a 23-year-old, that's a lot of money, and that was a very serious drawdown that I went through. On top of that, I run a business where during this time we've been quarantined and not allowed to work at the office. So I've been paying the bills for the office, paying the bills for my employees, and it's been rough all around. But the thing is, there's a lesson to learn here, and it's that hard times come to anybody who wants to be a trader, anyone who wants to be an entrepreneur. It is inevitable. And these are actually not the scenarios where you should be giving up, in my opinion. These are the scenarios where you can actually earn your stripes, if you will, in your own trading journey. So as I mentioned, I was at one point down $15,000 on one trade. I posted that video, and the response to that video was pretty mixed. We had some people who were positive, but we also had some really kind of negative comments in response to that video. So I wanted to kind of address it, and I wanted to point out something. Ever since I've started this YouTube channel back in the day when I literally was just posting this for my own kind of journaling experience, not a lot of people were watching my videos, but since then my goal has always been to keep it real, to keep it honest, and just be transparent. I don't sell a course. I don't really, that's not really my goal, is to come across as some sort of guru. I want to tell you guys the realities of trading and share my experiences along the way, both for you guys to, benefit from, but also to kind of journal my own experiences. So, losing my breath. I've been quarantined too long. So I learned so much from this, and the reality is I would not change anything about what I did. I stuck to my plan, things worked out, and overall it was an okay trade. The interesting thing, there was a bigger learning lesson, in my opinion, from the comment section on YouTube and the people who were criticizing my situation. Here's the thing, if you are a trader, if you are an investor, if you are an entrepreneur, at some point or another, you're gonna have some really dark days. It is inevitable, and it is the way of the world. There are times when things get rough, and these are the times, again, where you earn your stripes. And if you let other people tell you that you're stupid, if you let other people tell you that, you should change everything you're doing, you'll never actually act on your initial plan. I chose to share that trade knowing that I would receive a lot of criticism. There are too many people out here on YouTube, on social media, on Instagram, YouTube, whatever, that are only posting their good moments. They're only posting their wins. I wanted to show you guys in an actual video what many traders, even the ones that you look up to on Instagram, that actually go through these sort of times, but they won't show it to you. I wanted to actually show you guys one of my tough moments for you guys to hopefully genuinely benefit from. Because I know when I was a learning trader, I did everything that most people do. I went on YouTube and I searched through videos and Instagram posts trying to find advice or looking for suggestions on how I could improve as a trader. The thing is, they never would show the tough times. They would only show when they were all in the blue and making a bunch of money. That doesn't really benefit you, because in the end, what are you gonna do when things get really hard? Are you gonna give up? Are you gonna switch strategies every 30 minutes? Or are you going to get tough and actually deal with the situation, knowing that trading is never gonna be icing on the cake? Even after 5 years in the market, I went through a drawdown that was no fun, and something that was really, really unexpected. We had insane volatility. We had incredible moves in the currency market, and both my trades that were using stop losses and trades that were not using stop losses, I have a couple different strategies that I trade, both of them went through some pretty wild drawdowns. Now, I had some accounts that actually profited during this time, which was great, and that was because they were mostly trend following continuation strategies. But dealing with the tough times is part of it. It's just understanding that not every trade is going to go well, and there are going to be times when things get crazy and you've just got to deal with them.
So what happened? We talked about how at one point I was down somewhere $35,000 and I was still paying the bills for my business. So all of this was scary, especially as sales were slowing down and my trades were not going well. These were tough times for me, but to be fair, during the same time, there are people who had it way way worse than me. People who lost their restaurants because of the medical and financial crisis that we're going through, all sorts of much, much worse situations, people losing their jobs. I don't want to come across as ungrateful because I am certainly grateful for the situation I'm in, and I'm still able to make videos here on YouTube, which helps to pay the bills. It's not a tremendous amount of money, but it's some. So I am thankful for my situation. But I want to talk about what I learned and what actually ended up happening in those trades. So if you watch the video, then you know that that particular trade that I took, which was a Euro Aussie short. All right, gang, so we're here on the charts taking a look at Euro Australian dollar, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the particular trade that we took. It's actually a bundle of trades. Actually, in the end, netted me something around $2,300 in profit on the trade. So not bad at all. It was actually a good situation. Bigger than I'm used to, or at least usually see. Again, having something like $3,200, $3,100 on the table, to me, that's a lot of money, and that's a couple months of rent. So, watching to see if I can get out of this trade and not going to get greedy. Well, this market is not making it easy for me. Still waiting on that trade to play out just a little bit further down, and I will be out of the trade. Just trying to be patient here. I'm telling you guys, this has been a trade that I've been holding on to for a while. Now you might say, well, Nick, you were down $15,000 and you made $2,300. It sounds like a terrible risk to reward. Well, again, actually there is a risk management plan to this strategy. It does involve averaging into trades, which definitely was kind of the root for a lot of the comments that were negative on my video. But it is the reality of one of my strategies. I like to build a position in a trade if I have a fundamental bias, which is what I had. I basically had, the statement or an idea that the trade was overextended and that there was an overreaction around the world due to what we saw in the financial and medical crisis, which to some degree I was right. The timing was just not right. So I ended up making money on the trade. It went okay, but it brought me to a point that I wanted to talk about. A lot of traders, when they first get into the game, they expect trading profits to look like this. And it's a fair assumption. When I was a new trader, I totally thought that this is how professional traders make money. They just absolutely are almost always printing money, and yeah, they take their losses, and their losses are just these tiny little dips before they're back to printing money like it's a machine. The reality is very different. I've been in the game for 5+ years. I started out trading and investing in stocks, and I slowly moved to Forex, and I started this YouTube channel I think about 1.5 years or 2 years ago, and I've been posting videos ever since. Now, the reality is that when it comes to actual trading success, even after years, the growth of a really good trader's account does not look like this, right? This is the illusion. This is the idea that, oh, a guru trader knows where the market's going with very, very high probability, and he's always or she's always printing money from the markets, and it's just that easy, and I got to get myself like that so that I can trade like that. There's a very different reality to it. Now, if you're looking around on the internet, you're gonna find people who are selling courses, they are selling things on top of trying to come across as an incredible trader. I don't sell a course, as I mentioned, and the reason I don't is I actually think there's kind of a conflict of interest here. If you're selling a course, you wanna come across as an expert. If you want to come across as an expert, you have to show that you're always winning, right? And so I don't like the idea of selling a course because there's this drive, there's this push to come across as a perfect, always winning trader. When in reality, it's just not the reality of how trading goes. And I like to be honest with my videos and share that trading is a battle. Trading is like starting a business. And what does starting a business actually look like in terms of profit? It's the same reason why most people can't do it successfully and they give up too quick. It's because it looks like this. The reality of trading or business is that your overall money does not grow exponentially really fast and it's super easy and you're just printing money. Maybe when you get to be like an Amazon, of course, things are just rolling in, you're just continuously compounding and building money. Maybe at some point that's how you get, and probably in trading too. Once you have enough capital, you can kind of slowly even your small gains are big, dollar signs. The reality of trading success and the reality of starting a business is that it's not easy. And during times like this, right? This is going to happen to everybody. I don't care how good you are at trading or how well you think you know the markets. The markets are a beast of their own, and to some degree, nobody knows exactly what's going to happen in the markets. Even if you have an incredible ability for technical analysis and for finding good trade setups, there's going to be times where the market throws you a curveball and you're going to have to deal with really, really weird situations, and you're going to have to adapt. I would call this sort of situation a tough situation that happens to everybody, whether they admit it or not. If you're in the game long enough, you will have a time where basically your trading account gets challenged. Your strategy gets pushed to the limits. You are going to feel stupid. You're going to question yourself, right? These are the realities of trading. And so during this time, I posted a video right here, okay? I posted a video about my trade and the situation I was in. And what did I get? I got a ton of people that responded saying, you know, that was stupid. You shouldn't be trading like that. You're an idiot. Your strategy's not going to work. Granted, I have been trading this strategy successfully, and to this day, after this trade finished, I've still been trading this strategy successfully for something like 3.5 years on this particular strategy, and I'm happy to continue trading it without changing much of the strategy at all, right? But the point is, you can't look at those negative comments and look at them like, angrily. I'm not angry at those people who criticized my trade or said that, what I was doing is stupid. I'm rather sharing the reality of trading and that this is going to happen to no matter what strategy you choose to do. This is okay. That's the whole point of this video, is to show you that it's okay to have times where your strategy doesn't work. Because as long as overall it does continue to work in the end, right? These times when things don't go right, it's just a bump in the road in the long-term process. So what happened in my situation is I dealt with a tough trade, things went ugly. I shared that video with the hopes of being transparent and of course got some negative comments, but things snapped back, things worked out, I stuck to the plan and things rebounded back to normal, okay? So the point is, when it comes to trading, when it comes to investing, there will be trials. There will be times where you have to get tough if you want to survive. And unfortunately, most people will quit, but you have the choice as a trader in your own journey to understand that if you've backtested a strategy, if you've decided that this is a strategy that works for you, you're gonna stick it out and you have the potential to basically earn your stripes, right? This is the chance when things get really hard. Nobody tells stories about people who just had it easy. People tell stories and people celebrate people who went through hard times and came out on top in the end. That is the point of this concept, and the point of me sharing these videos is to show you me going through that process, even after 5 years in the market, dealing with tough times and trying to come out on top. It doesn't mean I'm gonna be a millionaire. It doesn't mean that I'm printing money every single day. It means that I have the diligence in my own strategy after many, many times of failure, right? To know that there is sunshine at the end of the road. There is a way to get through things. There is a way to improve and to continue to grow as a trader, even through the tough times. No matter how dark it gets, as long as you're using proper risk management, as long as you are using a strategy that you have backtested and believe in, you can be all right in the end. Now, of course, there's always risk, and that's why I have a couple different strategies that I trade to kind of diversify my overall portfolio, as well as invest in stocks, invest in cryptocurrency, and invest in other things like my business, right? So I have different diversification, knowing that the end goal is that most of this will work out and that overall my equity curve will look like this, okay? That's the point of making this video. You gotta have a long-term outlook when it comes to trading, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next time.